Hello, welcome to another episode of Low 5 Gaming. You've got me, your host, Alex, and here is my brother and co-host, Luke, my cult member.
Yes,
what's up, bud?
Cult leader, I would like to think, but
co-leader,
cult leader. That can't be a
gaming
common
cult.
That can't be a common appearance or occurrence, is it? You think there's a lot of cults that like have extremely powerful dudes that trade off? You think that works? I feel like it's
Just
an
a
ego.
couple,
It's a
couple of bros
Just
setting the rules.
Low 5 cult dude. We mostly get along.
There can
how you
only be
doing?
one. I'm doing well, dude. It's been a crazy call. I have a little bit of a cold, but people don't care about that.
Sound a little pissy, but it's all right.
It's been a crazy couple of months, dude. September, and now we're in October, dude. September's buck wild. We got too many birthdays in the family in September. A lot of people just making love during the holidays, bro.
Whoa, man. I thought you were going to talk about getting colds because I got sick, but you went right to baby making. You nasty.
A little bit of both, man. That shit nasty, right?
Back to work for me, so it's a bit of a whirlwind. Yeah. But and then catching colds and then being busy. It was good times, but busy times and sick times. Late night low 5.
Can't be getting too bug wild. You wake up them boys.
Yeah, that would be a catastrophe. I'm not gonna lie. That would be a cancel.
But nonetheless, dude, the game of the month, Cult of the Lamb.
Yes, the cutest creepy game, which I guess is a subgenre of its own. It's just cute creepy.
Remind me, was this my pick, your pick, a dual pick?
I think it was my pick. Nope, no, it was your pick.
I think it was your pick. But I bought this game for you for Christmas, so it was like kind of like a...
Yeah, it's kind of like you forced me to pick it.
Not really.
I'm just playing. I was kind of voluntold this would be my pick, guys. Because Alex is...
Strong arm.
He is not a benevolent dictator cult leader. Ugh, you don't edit that. I want everyone to know I'm stupid.
Would they already do that?
They already did it. So no, I've had it on the backlog. Backlog book club was taken, but that was our original idea. And we're just a couple of guys trying to play all of the games one at a time.
We could get strong arm that shit too. Should we rebrand? Nah, I don't want to.
Start a war. Start a branding war.
But this game, dude.
And it's Devolver Digital, so it's like, we already have, we used to be a little Nintendo fanboy pod, and now we're not. Now we're just a Devolver Digital fanboy pod. So look at that.
We've devolved into Devolver, pure Devolver.
You're stupid too.
We've devolved into Divulgers. Did I say that correctly?
No,
I don't
not
think so.
At all. But I love it. Yes.
Devolved into Devolver indulgence.
It's definitely not worth repeating again and trying to figure it out.
Dang.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, if you're still here, cool.
Yeah.
We're covering Cult of the Lamb, dude. This game came out August 11th, 2022. Did you realize? I didn't realize it was that old, man. I've been sleeping on this game for a while.
Time has become a blur to me. Everything feels like it just came out, and then it's like, it's the 10th year anniversary, and I'm like, oh, great.
Any guess on launch price?
$30?
25, dude.
25. I was in the neighborhood. Hell yeah.
I love that. I love that, though, that approach. I mean, they have DLC, but you know what? The DLC? Free. For the most part. They might have some paid DLC
I think they
now.
Just had some paid DLC come out like as we did it.
Obviously,
I wasn't going to jump in, but lots of added content over time, like post-launch content, I think is more what you big updates. So, yeah, I think the Woolhaven, is that the new DLC?
Yeah, that sounds right. Co-op. They've added co-op to it, which is pretty cool.
Man.
Actually, they did that in 2024, so like they added that a while ago now. Mm-hmm. So I'm not entirely sure what Woolhaven is. They're just adding to this game, dude. I love it. Like this is that. Why can't that be the model for video games? Why does it have to be? Let's milk them for all they're worth.
Because shareholders, Devolver Digital must not be publicly traded just yet, so we'll see.
That could be.
You can go to Bloomberg for that.
Premise of this game, dude.
Yes.
The last lamb about to be sacrificed for 4 bishops who've hunted you down and your entire species. But there's a mysterious chain god called the One Who Waits that resurrects you with some like demon shit and this weird crown, and he tasks you with building a cult. And you gotta the whole cult's supposed to be around him and stuff. and you're basically tasked to defeat the bishops and free them. I think
You're like his conduit. So when you die in classic rogue-like fashion, or rogue-light fashion, I remember the difference. Because I, on this pod bumbled that there's a difference between the two about 14 times until I committed to memorizing it.
There you go.
In classic roguelike light fashion, they have built a way for you to die and come back. Although I do like how your cult followers don't believe in you as much if you die, and they're like,
right.
weakling. I actually like that. So there's a tiny penalty to death, nothing crazy. But you just get reborn, and then the roguelike function, the roguelite function. So I like how I told you I know the difference between the two, but I can't verbally say the correct one each time. But the rogue light function is that you go in one of the doors and you fight, the whole little, you go on a run, so to speak. We talk about this enough in this pod where you know what I mean by you go on a little run, you do the combat, you go through the area, you find the power-ups, and then you have like a final little boss guy. And then you do that 4 times, is it, to unlock like the final boss or the bishop that you previously mentioned of the area?
Yeah, I believe so.
And then what's interesting about this game's flavorful twist, other than the cult setting and aesthetic combined with the cutesiness, what makes this game unique is it's also a management sim on your home base. So in a lot of games, you have a home base and you add to things and power-ups over time. In Hades, you talk to people and build relationships and power up. In this game, you're running your cult.
And that's like, from what I've gathered on the internet, like, I mean, some people really do like the gameplay of the dungeon crawling because it's decent. But mostly it seems people gravitate towards that base building aspect of this game is what I've gathered. And somewhat my experience as well. I'm a little torn, to be honest.
Yeah, I had, so when we first talked, you can check in the Discord, I definitely called it a Master of None, because I felt like it was stretched out between these two deals. I would say that I kind of I put down some other games and I focused heavier on it when I first thought we were going to record a year ago.
Sure.
And I got like probably another like 10-hour jump in there, and I got into more of a groove. And I found that it's actually got decent balance because you can't do a whole lot on the management part. And then you go on the run and then you come back, and it's kind of a little chaotic because some things don't necessarily fall into disarray or fall too far behind, but you usually have to do some cleaning up and like some repairs and different things. A lot of poop
out there.
A lot of poop. A lot of weird poop focused things that I'm not super into. I actually found the process of upgrading your shovel way too gratifying. That little progress bar of upgrading that shovel, like I was more proud than I should have been when I maxed out my poop shovel. I'm a little further than you, so I got an outhouse, dude. So they shit in an outhouse, and I just have to clean the outhouse. And then I got a fertilizer bin for that they take out of the yeah, dude. It does some nice. I'm more into management sims than you historically.
Historically, no, but in our adult life, yes.
I mean, our adult life spend most of our lives at this point, dude.
Fair enough.
Within the last, 10 to 15 years, I've been into a lot of management sims, so you can get into a supply chain stuff that I find gratifying. Is all I was going to say. And
between the premise and talking about poop, like this, if anybody hasn't played this game and they're just hearing us talk about it, like it sounds scary, it sounds dark, and it sounds gross. The funny thing about that is it's not, and I think that juxtaposition, cutesy. Right? So that juxtaposition is, I think, one of the like coolest things about this game is it has a very a cutesy vibe to it. It's like dark, but it's like a dark
cult vibes, dude.
Yeah, dude, and that's
baby's
what's kind of
first
funny
cult,
about
dude.
it. Right, so it's got a real dark humor that lands like really
true.
well. The soundtrack's good. There is an addictive gameplay loop, but it's adorable yet disturbing, which is kind of fun.
Did you get far enough to find conflict, like inner conflict with doing some of the cult stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers of this game that we'll it's one of those deals that we'll probably miss a bunch of stuff, but you can decide whether to like sacrifice a cult member or whatever or not for various different reasons.
Or force him to eat poop. Are you talking about,
or force him to eat poop or do the weird stuff?
I want to put a prank on him, dude. Make him eat shit. He hates that. I'm like, no, it's a dick move.
But dude, this harks back to our Red Dead Redemption 2 like pod that we cut, and then also when we guested on Tales from the Backlog, and the whole idea of being gamers and just a couple of dudes that like have trouble kind of leaning into the dark side, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have to like tell myself like you're role playing as a adorable cult leader, like you get to be bad, and I'll be like, it's okay if you make this poor little follower that worships you eat shit to make the other one happy.
Right, and even more so than like my Red Dead example, where you are, I mean, you don't really, you're like rewarded for being evil in this, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas in Red Dead, it really didn't matter which path you chose. Like it has some impact on the story, but for this, like the game wants you to lean into it.
You're supposed to be a cult leader.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not supposed to be you're not liberating anyone. You're building your cult. It's also interesting, like you grab the followers from that overworld, those runs, you do kind of save them.
Right.
And like they die a lot, like of natural causes and things. So you're kind of like always losing them. So like that kind of helps soften the blow, but you can like build up your cult and like, did you find it stressful when you first started playing how many systems it did a good job of slowly introducing you to a lot of systems, but it was deeply overwhelming in the beginning?
So I don't mind the systems because you're right. They do a good job of layering them and introducing them, and things are you're kind of locked out on things until you hit certain, achievements or whatever milestones. I think that that rollout made that manageable. I think to this day, the speed of the game gives me anxiety. Like the clock, how fast the clock moves.
That never bothered me, but you've mentioned that so many times. I think that's so funny.
Dude, it's because I'm like, I don't want to be, but I'm a min-maxer. So like I'm trying to get as much done on the overworld or on the home base. And then you also have to get a run in, and the clock continues to go during the run. So you have to balance that correctly. And like there's a day count. So even though I don't think it matters, like I get worried about the fact that I'm on like X day. And so it's just one of those things. It's like the clock in Majora's Mask, dude. It's just like having that. It's just it's anxiety.
I mean, that one's real anxiety because you have to finish it within time.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Well, the point I was making is like, as you continue to level up your cult, you're making a lot of decisions, and like my nice guy shit's getting in the way, but you can like sacrifice followers to have like more intense control of your cult, but also like have more intense powers on your next run. So you could like,
'cause there's a whole big skill tree to this too.
Yeah,
right?
You could build your whole cult like and kind of more or less specialize in the path of sacrifices. Where I'm such a lame-o, I went the other direction and I was like, I want all my followers to have a belief in the afterlife, so when their homies die, they gain a little faith and they're not as sad.
Oh, that's cloudy.
Yeah, so I'm, listeners, if you want to join our cult, I'm pretty chill. Whereas Alex will probably make you eat poop, and
I don't make them eat poop, dude, but I do be sacrificing folk,
dude.
especially if they're like getting kind of sultry with me or like a little upset. I'm like, you know what? You're gone. We don't need you. You're not benefiting.
I'm sorry. All that's for dinner is grass or poop. Die then.
Dude,
we'll eat
early on, especially. That's annoying, dude. Like the cooking. So that's where I'm torn on this, dude. Like I don't mind those layers. I don't mind like because that's what I want to do. Like one of the reasons I was stoked to play this game is because I've been craving a management sim, or like a life sim. Probably more craving a life sim, to be honest. And I think that's where I was misled. I felt like what I had gathered about this game is that it was more life simmy than I wanted it to be. Or no, it wasn't as life simmy as I wanted it to be. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's partially like why it took me a little bit longer to warm up to it. But I do like this game, and I think that I think you're correct in saying at the get-go it did feel like Master of None. Like I was on board with that, but it definitely gets to the point where I'm like, okay, like I'm learning this stuff. It's making more sense. I'm into it. I like this. So like we've been talking about, and we can definitely talk more about the overworld and the management sim part of this game. But how did you feel about the combat? How did you feel about that whole section of this?
It was torn because in the beginning, you're trying to learn the sim management stuff. So you're almost not giving that enough time, or vice versa. Like you're kind of trying to really groove with another. So as I got into that, like past that 5 hour mark, closer to that 10 to that 15, I would find that it was a nice change of pace from the fighting to do the sim stuff, and then I was excited to go do the pillaging again. And I did find the roll dodge is really nice. Mm-hmm. And the enemy variety is pretty great through the different, I'm just going to say the different doorways or areas to go through, because I forget if the game even has like a specific word for those, but each of the bishop's realms, that's probably it. They each have a different aesthetic. It's cool. You can go back to the old ones and get like higher difficulty, higher rewards things. So like I found it to scratch an itch. It's almost like I've played enough of these games where like doing it really well is getting pretty close to like a comfort food. You're clearing each little room, and then, you know, you have this little map, and then you get to this little point where, you know, you get to choose a doorway, and then there's like this winding path thing. How would you describe the winding path thing within each run, so to speak? So you're in an area, you clear the set of rooms, and then you go to a doorway, and then there's like almost this overhead map of like a path where you have just like different options. Well,
there's a game that you've put about 4,000 hours into that is a good example of uses the same thing.
Which one's that?
How many games have you put 4,000 hours into?
Just Tetris, man.
Oh, wait, not Civ.
Not Civ. Civ, it's not quite like Civ, though. It's nothing like Civ.
It's another, what's the card builder that you play?
Oh, Slay the Spire, yeah.
Yeah, so Slay does the same thing, but it's basically a tree, like a branching tree. So they call them crusades. You know, when you go into the dungeons or whatever. So the dungeon crawling bit of this game is considered crusades.
Nice.
4 regions, which you mentioned, each ruled by a bishop, and they're procedurally generated rooms. So it's always going to be a little different, which is, you know, a little spice of life, a little roguelike thing going on. But you get to collect resources, which is important for the overworld stuff or for the base building stuff, and you get to rescue followers in there, which is also important. And very much like Slay, you do get that map, and you get to choose. I think there was another card builder game that we played that did this as well. What's that creepy one? The creepy card builder game.
Yeah, with the 3 games built in. It's similar to Enter the Gungeons map, and then it becomes like when you're actually going through the levels, it's like Enter the Gungeons map. And then when you get to that tree part, that's like Slay the Spire, where you pick your next part of the path. Although think of it as much more condensed and smaller, but like you'd be like, do you want a crop-based reward, like for different seeds and things to bring back to your colony? Or do you want a follower-based reward? Or do you want a weapon upgrade for just this run? And that's like kind of fun and rewarding, because like maybe your people are starving and you're like, ooh, like hell yeah, dude, what is that, a grape? I'm going to add grapes to my colony.
Inscription was what we were looking for.
Yes, thank you.
So Inscription has a similar thing too, right? Where you can kind of choose what direction, or am I making that up?
Oh man, it's been a while, and I only played the first one really well because I sucked at the second game.
Right on. Well, it's got that going, dude. And like Inscription, and I guess like Slay, I mean, there is a card element to this too. So you get to collect the resources, you collect followers, and you also collect tarot cards, right?
Yeah. I actually got
the tarot cards.
This like upgrade where I automatically start each run with 4. Oh, and I don't get to pick them. So I don't run into them. So it's like you get these power-ups that are like a pro-con thing later on.
And you can switch those out. So if you wanted to, you could change that boon, correct?
Yeah. Call it a cowl or something because it's a part of your cape.
Right. That makes sense. And then the boss structure there, which you also touched on, you've got the 4 mini bosses, the apostles per region, and then you have the bishop boss. So that's the core loop of the Crusades.
Look at you using the internet for the proper terminology. Nice.
Nah, dude, I just like know this game like the back of my hand, bro.
Crushing it, dude. I like the different weapon choices though. Like you start off and they usually give you, I don't think they give you a choice. No, it's just like your main weapon, and then like what your, on a PlayStation 2 it'd be triangle. On a Steamy D it would be Y. Attack, and then you have like this kind of overpowering, or not overpowering, but you do actually have an overpower attack. It kind of just keeps building combat layers, so I would go ahead and say it's like good to very good roguelike combat.
I agree. It's
it continues to
then it's like, you can die, and like if you die it's not a game over, but like you said, your followers are kind of like, what's this weakling all about?
Lose some clout, dude. Low aura.
Yeah. So you go on your crusade. Like the idea is that you win, and you can decide to keep crusading, or you can go back. But you have to kind of do the balance, right? Because you have to decide, okay, like, do I need to go back and make sure my people are doing good? And are they fed? That kind of thing. I mean, you already hit the main. I think we've kind of covered more or less the main core loop stuff of the cult management things. But what we didn't mention, or we maybe just like touched on, so you've got to feed the followers, manage their needs, faith, loyalty, hunger. You get to build structures. So you mentioned like outhouses, but like the farm, sleeping quarters, ritual spaces, etc. So like as that builds
decorations
out,
for being cute.
So, and then I think what we didn't fully mention yet is that you perform sermons to gain faith and unlock upgrades. So that's kind of a fun little thing. You go into your like little church and you can just decide to perform a sermon. You can also conduct rituals, which you mentioned. So like that can be a sacrifice, that can be a wedding, a resurrection, etc. So it's like
mostly
kind of really
funerals.
Fun. Like, yeah, you could do funerals
mostly
too.
funerals for my fallen homies.
Yeah,
and I got my dudes tripping on shrooms. You got your dudes tripping on shrooms, dude?
No, that's dope though.
Maxed out their loyalty, dude. It's a little brainwashed, dude.
Then like you were saying earlier too, you got to deal with dissenters. Your cult members actually get older, so you have to deal with old age and like they die off. They can also get sick. A lot of times my cult members are getting sick because I'm making them poopy food. Because like you want to feed them, but like the only thing you can like feed them, they're like you don't have the ingredients for like good stuff.
Have you picked up any golden or rainbow poop, dude?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you could use the poop too as fertilizer, like for your farming,
or the giant poop that you harvest for many poops. Have you seen that?
Right. Yeah.
This game is like we've made these jokes because it's easy jokes. They're like a little oddly obsessed with poop in this game. The devs were like a little into poop,
for sure,
when they made this game.
And the last piece of the call management, it would be the doctrines. So we kind of mentioned that. So that's like a skill tree piece of this, where you get
kind
to
of choosing your cult's direction,
right?
Your powers.
Cool.
Yeah. And you set your workers to different tasks. So some of them just worship your shrine. In that shrine, you collect more or less faith, and that faith you use for upgrades. And then some of them you can have be building. Some of them you can have be harvesting rock, lumber, farming for you. I would never say it gets like intensely complex, but it gets a little busy.
It does force you into like different paths, right? So like you get to kind of what you're saying, like kind of like I'm playing the nice guy, but you can, so basically you can like, you kind of either, you find yourself like choosing between like, am I going to allow murder or am I going to like build prisons? Like, are we going to feed into cannibalism?
To re-indoctrinate those to stop believing in you, dude.
Right. And then it's like, do you want to lean into cannibalism or like, are there going to be a bunch of grass eaters? Like, are you going to have weddings? You're going to have fight pits? Like it's interesting, like the different, branches that you can go down.
It's enough of an RPG that they felt obligated to make a shitty fishing mechanic as well.
I was going to bring that too. There's a fishing piece to this
game
I too.
Didn't ever want to go back because I didn't think you really needed to. And then my people were starving and I was like, I could probably just like fish for 5 minutes. And then I did that and had a bunch of food. And I was like, okay, it's not the worst, but it did.
I don't mind the fishing mechanic. It reminds me of Stardew in a way. Like it's,
but it's not.
Right. Yeah. No, fair enough. It's probably like a mixer of like it's like a cross between Stardew and Sea of Stars.
Yeah, that's actually what I was.
Not as good as either.
If you weren't able to pull it, I was going to bring up Sea of Stars. Yeah, it's just funny. It's like a classic video game trope. So it's almost like they had a meeting and they're like in between poop jokes and poop mechanics. They were like, "How about fishing, dude?"
That dude that you meet that teaches you how to fish, and then you have to do the little side quest. And that's another thing. This thing has side quests too. Like this game is pretty complex.
Yeah.
But then, so that dude like wants you to gather a certain amount of fish for him.
Who's a fish pretending not to be a fish? That guy?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think it was like the crab, or there was one of them that it literally took, I don't even want to know how much time, but like I was trying to collect the last one for him and it just took forever. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like days and days and days until I caught the crab or whatever.
Really?
It was. Yeah, dude, it was dumb.
I think I did just some sort of ritual that increased my fishing bounty and I just went over there and crushed a bunch of fish one day. So
smart man.
Yeah, well, teach a man to fish.
Yeah. So those are the main gameplay loops. Got a little fishing in there.
There's also like a mini game in the upper left of your dude. There's a lot of world maps now that I'm saying out loud. On your home base, your management sim part, you like enter a little fast travel thing to get to the fishing area, to get to the mushroom area, and then there's this other like cabin area where I don't even remember what the mini game is, but I know it was better than Gwent.
It is not better than
Yeah, it was rage bait. But I'm trying to think what that little game
I'm
is.
no good at it. I just know it's like a betting game, and I can't remember. It's more of like a dice roll thing, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. I know that
all I know is I was so bad at it, and I lost all my money, so I didn't do it again.
Clowning. I like beat the guy after like the first attempt. And then there's like a few people waiting there to play me, and I'm like, I'm not interested enough in following up with that. It's it's a little something for everybody, and it feels like the developers were probably just having fun making different little aspects, like almost homages to different things in different genres. But that part didn't tickle me. Did you play this almost entirely on your Steam ED, or were you PC on this for a lot?
I had a couple sessions on my PC, but Steam ED, I would say 90% of the way.
I would say the aesthetic of this game very much lends itself to a Steam ED game, and it plays really, really nice on there. But it gets that thing cooking, dude.
Yeah.
I've been playing a little bit of Silksong, and like I never hear the fan on the Steam ED. The second I open Call to the Lamb, it's like...
Oh, interesting.
And it's a bit of a ticking time bomb as far as like, if I'm playing it, I can't be passively playing and like pausing a lot. I got to like play the game or else I'll just be wasting battery. I thought that was interesting. I was like, it doesn't look like it's a heavy game like that.
What I did notice for sure is that battery life aspect. With the very, that cutesy dark art style we talked about, like it's another one of those games, kind of like Plucky Squire in a way, where it's like it looks like charming and simple.
It's deceptively chunky.
So it's like you wouldn't think that it's gonna be so taxing on the battery, but I would say probably like unplugged, get maybe an hour, 15 minutes tops.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So it tears through the battery, which, that's about the amount of time I want to play. I don't want to go much more than that anyways when I do a stint in this game.
Yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning though, just because like it runs really well, but it's always kind of like
totally
interesting when a game's just a little bit heavier, runs a little harder than you think it's gonna.
I will note though, it's like kind of like all these games that I love to be able to play handheld, and it's like definitely presents themselves for handheld when I do play them on PC and like on a bigger screen and with like faster FPS and everything. It's nice.
Yeah.
So there's that.
There you go.
Like a Hades is an example that's that way. Like 90% of my time playing Hades is handheld, but when I have played it on the PC, I'm like, oh, okay.
This is
this is that way. I'm sure, so. There was the management sim that we played for the pod that I felt that way too. Actually, I preferred it on the desktop for that one.
Which one was that?
Against the Storm.
Yeah, that was like a game I picked up. I tried to pick that back up recently, and I just got fucking wrecked. I was
in the weeds.
It's a stressful game. I forgot how shitty I was at it for a while. But yes, back to Call to the Lamb. Seems like it never really hooked you, although you appreciate it and thought it was cool. It seems like you kind of like scratched your curiosity itch, but never really loved it. Does that seem fair?
Right. It didn't get as hooked in me to the point where I'm like, I was obsessing over it, or like got to the point where I'm like, I can't wait to play Cult tonight. That type of deal. But it's a game, but it's also not. So it's like right in the middle there, because it's also not a game like I don't want to pick that up again.
I would not uninstall it from my Steam ED. If I needed like space for a different game, that would not be one of my immediate choices for the chopping block, because it goes back to once you learn the systems, like I don't feel like I'll be overwhelmed if I jumped on right now. It's been like a week or two since I've played it because we're late on this pod. But if I jumped onto it right after this pod, I wouldn't suck, and I think that's like cool that it has a lot of depth. But I don't feel overwhelmed when I jump back in. So,
and the balance is tight, right? I mean, like because you can choose whether you want to kind of lean into the management part of it or the dungeon crawling part of it. Like, I think that's like an interesting aspect. Whereas if you wanted to get into Hades or something, like you're going to get your ass beat if you haven't played Hades in a long time, and then you might feel a little bit like,
or I played the early access, and now I'm like, because it's story driven and all those things, I feel like I should I have to start completely over. And it's been too long since I've played last. So this game is a grip it and rip it, which if you've been listening long enough, you know that means a lot to my heart.
Indeed. Well, shit, man. How many sacrificial lambs out of 5 would you give this game?
How many poops from the outhouse?
How many poops scoop from the outhouse?
Poop scoops. On a 5-point pentagram, I'm I'm going to give it 3 points out of 5. And I feel like
right on.
That's good.
It is.
But it's not. It's closer to very good than great.
I'm right there with you, dude. I'll give it 3 out of 5 as well. 3 out of 5 poop scoops into the outhouse. And that is exactly because of what I just said, where it's like it never got to the point where I was like, I need to keep playing this game. Not that you should have unhealthy obsessions with games, well, but you know, it never really got me to like, you know, I need to keep going. But it also like never got to the point where I was like, man, I wish I wasn't playing this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good. It's like middle of the road, but better. It's better than middle of the road. It's not a 2.5. It's a 3.
It's good to very good. Yeah, no doubt.
Indeed. And who knows? Like it has potential to get a little bump if I get a little deeper in it and I change my mind there. But, you know, if you like were to pair it up against different roguelikes, like I would probably, I mean, I'd have to say that like Hades is better. You know what I mean? Like
roguelite, but yes.
Yeah, sure. And when it comes to management sims, like, I mean, Animal Crossing better, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think
so it's like,
if you like those types of games, and it is literally October when this is coming out, and spooky season is upon you, it would be a fun flavor to pick up.
100%. I think I would definitely recommend it to the Devolver heads, you know, and I would also recommend it to somebody that is anybody that likes those two genres. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to someone that's like new to video games, a little too complex or a little too standoffish for that.
I would agree.
But if those are genres that you're into, it's definitely worth. I mean, the $25 at launch, bro. Like, I mean, come on, send it.
Oh, great price point, and it'll go on sale.
Right.
So I love it. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right on. Well, shit. With that, should we take a little break, hear from our unsanctioned sponsor?
Yeah, let's perform a ritual. So this week we are brought to you by a weird argument from me and also a yearly addiction that comes in strong and hot. It's got its claws in Alex a little bit. Got him kicked out of a bar once. But it's not the alcohol. It's fantasy football.
Right on.
And specifically, I was thinking the other day, it was like a sober high thought, but I was like, is fantasy football a video game?
Well, it's in an app, right?
Like, so kind of like how board games evolved into video games when they're just electronic.
Right. Interesting.
But basically you're playing like an electronic gambling, but it's skill-based game companion to this entertainment product that you're consuming on Sundays and sometimes Mondays and sometimes Thursdays. And I love it way too much, dude. I have way too many hardcore takes on players that I don't actually bother to watch. I know a lot of my friends actually do watch them, and that's tight. But I follow so much like auxiliary content, and I'm obsessive. And yeah.
This month is brought to you in part by unofficially fantasy football.
Is it a video game?
Is it a video game? Well. That's a tough one. You can make an argument for it. I hear you making an argument for it, and I'm not saying that it's not.
Numbers go burr, dude.
Pen and paper. What's that?
Numbers go burr.
Right. What platform are you playing on? You on ESPN? You on Yahoo?
Sleeper.
So that's what it's called, Sleeper?
It is the premium. It's the best one, in my humble opinion. I'm in a league through work on ESPN, and I fucking hate it. Their app is dog wash. I have done Yahoo in the past, but Sleeper is the way. It's kind of like the gold standard these days for a lot of people. Are you completely out? Do you not even have your college league anymore?
I've been out, bro. Yeah.
That's crazy. How did you guys let
They pulled me back in for a season or two, and then because dude, like I'm down to play fantasy. If people out there are like, I really want Alex to be in my fantasy league, I will join your fantasy league. But if people ain't fucking talking shit, if people aren't like making trades, doing like being active, like I don't want to just like do this to do a draft and then like be the only one that talks shit.
Wow. So the college boys, just the passion was gone.
No passion.
That's
bro.
crazy.
No passion.
Y'all like dads and shit, and not caring.
This was before we were dads, dude. They all got lame about it like before we became dads.
You went from getting kicked out of bars, celebrating on championship weekend, to just
That's
no
not
one
my
cares.
fault.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but a panicked younger brother had to pick you up, and I was like, I'm tired. And you're like, I'm getting kicked out of this bar right now. You need to come get us.
I love that you came and got us. That was walking distance for sure.
You were pretty dramatic. It didn't seem like it was a question at the time. It was like, save me.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the homie I was with probably wasn't able to make the walk, so.
Not peacefully.
No.
He physically could have made it, but not peacefully. So yeah, I definitely wanted to bring it up, one, because I'm too deep into it, dude, and two, I was thinking to myself, like, is this a video game now? Like, could I make
how's your team looking? We
had to start over.
What's your record?
The teams
to start over.
Well, I do a dynasty now, which I care too much about, and that's where you keep your players year in and year out, and you just draft rookies.
Right.
But I won it 2 years in a row. So the rule is if you win it 2 years in a row, you get the Empire pot, and you got to blow up the whole league and redraft the whole thing. So we started all the way back over. So I don't know how my team is yet on that league anymore. And then my other redraft, I'm doing great. Although, if you're a Vikings fan, did you watch the game, Alex?
I watched bits of it, but no, I didn't watch
London. Our kicker kicked a ball, and the field goal just radically took a sharp turn, right? And it appears as if he hit a wire. I lost by less than a point this week.
Stop. That affected you?
So I would have won pretty comfortably because my tight end on Monday Night Football caught one ball and then got hurt. Ooh. So I lost by like less than half a point to a full point, and those two things are wild, which is why I both love and hate fantasy football, because that's fucking garbage, dude.
Right.
So it's a good thing I'm not a gambler.
That spice.
Because like,
gives you that spice of life.
Imagine,
what do you mean? You straight up just winning money.
Yeah, it's a skill-based game, dog. Legally speaking. No, like, can you imagine like gamblers that lost like fortunes on a kick like that, and how fucking irate they get? So
you hear about that, the DMs of certain players and whatnot.
Yeah, that loser shit. But it's kind of funny how fantasy has grown from like a niche thing from when we were doing it as little dudes to now it's like people's moms and aunties and random uncles be in leagues together. Our family's low-key kind of lame for that.
For not having a league.
We have two massive families, and there is not a family league in either of them. That's kind of crazy, dude.
What's up, Commish?
Me? Never.
Well, there you go. So fuck right off.
I don't need any responsibilities. I don't want to be.
Yeah, I don't want to tear down the family, but he won't even set it up himself.
I don't want to be yelling at aunties and cousins for not talking trash to Alex. Awkward,
dude. That's another reason that I'm out on the fucking on the college homie deals. Like, all of us got jobs, dude. Like, no reason you're not playing your fantasy dues, and like at least two, or at least one, maybe two a year would not pay their fantasy dues, and it's like, come on,
sheesh, dude.
Right.
So there we go.
Fantasy football, I can dig it, dude. I can dig it. You're high on fantasy football though, because you got to buy that watch. You got to buy your girl some shoes or something like that.
She lost tragically. Never forget.
Oh, that's right.
Never forget. No, I'm into it. It gives me extra reason to watch on Sundays and play Slay the Spire on my couch. It's great.
That is, I would say that is like, I do enjoy fantasy. Like when you're in a league where folks are into it, it is definitely fun. I understand the gaming angle that you're giving it. I can see that. It makes sense. I would say, yes, it's a video game. With our, at least it's a companion video game. I don't know, whatever. I think that's always been the most interesting thing about it is like, I'll root for my teams, right? Mm-hmm. But when you have a fantasy team, that gives you, you got a little skin in the game on different games of the week that you may not have tuned into otherwise. So
keeps you very alert to what's going on.
Yeah. So the NFL is, all the leagues that have fantasy going now, that it makes sense for them to push fantasy and to get people on it because it makes people more interested.
I tried fantasy basketball, and fantasy basketball's dog shit, dude.
You ever do fantasy baseball?
I don't have the heart for that.
I got a homie that was really big into fantasy baseball, both basketball and baseball. There's this, I mean, like if you have a problem updating your roster for football, like don't tread water in any of the other sports.
Dude, basketball's crazy. With the rest era, dudes just be out and you're like, constantly getting hurt. It's crazy.
Right on. Brought to you in part, unofficially, by fantasy.
Nope.
Is it?
Yeah, I was about to say,
video game?
It's brought to you by the question of, is fantasy a video game, dude?
Right on.
Side question, we are back. We have sacrificed the unsanctioned sponsor. We are here. I got 2 games I'm going to highlight, dude.
You got 2 games,
2
bro?
games.
You got 2 major side quests?
2 major side quests that I'm pretty pumped about, and I'm not going to talk about NCAA football. First, Mini Motorways, gift from Ace. Boing.
What up, Ace?
Threw that one into the birthday Bonanza Bash.
Hell yeah.
And he's been playing it forever, and he's always told me to get it. And I've always been cute.
Yeah, you have, bro.
I've always been like a little bit curious because it looked like it was adjacent at least to like some management sim stuff I like to do. And I would not call it that. It's more of a puzzle game. So if you like puzzle games, I think this game's a slam dunk for you because it's usually relatively inexpensive and it has a cutesy aesthetic once again. Is that your computer, fan?
Yeah, bro. Take it off. All I want to do is open Steam to look at my game list.
All right. Anyway,
it's just that big, bro. It's that big.
That backlog go crazy. Literally go burr. Got to get the fans on to see this man's backlog.
Unreal.
Anyway,
sorry everybody.
It's all good. Mini Motorways has a very cute minimalist color pop aesthetic, and you're basically getting these cars from these little houses to these little factories, and just imagine like a little house looking thing, like a Monopoly house, like that type of color. Imagine it with like a little bit of a neon, not maybe pastel color pop. And what I like is they do different world maps that you unlock. So it'll be like, this is Dublin, this is Moscow. And like sometimes they'll just do like a little thing that pays homage to these global cities. So I'm a pretty big dork when it comes to geography. So I love that. So shouts out to that one. I suck at it, but I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Very addicting. Right on. One last time, if you're a puzzle-based boyoyoy, those are great. And second game of playing is it swept the internet dorks by storm. And shockingly, I actually informed Alex of this, which I thought like I was going to be like, hey, have you heard of Tetris type stupid when I asked Alex if he's played this game? Because it was literally made in an algorithmic lab for Alex. But Megabonk, if you have not heard of Megabonk, it's great. If you're a fan of Vampire Survivors and you're like, but what if this was 3D? We've made a game for you. I want to passively play a game where I kind of move around and take down hordes without button mashing. They kind of passively get attacked by my different power-ups. It's awesome. You can now jump. That's a different element of verticality. And I guess it's like Risk of Rain 2 because you wander around the map until you find the portal/boss. You fight the portal/boss, and then you go into the portal and you go to the next thing. So that's how it gets the Risk of Rain 2-iness. But it's great. It's $10. It's got a kind of crude PlayStation 1 era, maybe if you're being generous, PlayStation 2 era graphical look to it. Would you, looking at some pictures, would you agree?
I didn't go. It's been a while. I haven't looked at it since you told me.
I saw his face glowing, so I assumed he was looking up this sweet game I was talking about, but he's just looking at his backlog again. So yes, love that game. Strong recommend. It's super addicting. It's so fun. Like I've talked a lot about how I like these passive games where I can grip it and rip it and just pick up and get a little run going. And this game delivers hard, and it's super cool. And you unlock all these different characters. Similar, once again, to Vampire Survivors. So if you burnt yourself out on Vampire Survivors, but you have an itch for that lizard brain type shit, it's back, baby. Megabonk. It has delivered.
Megabonk. I'll have to check it out.
Yes.
Right on. Side quests. Well, I have entered the virtual reality, brother. First of all, the Buy Nothing movement. If folks don't know what that is, check it out. All your neighborhoods or hopefully, who knows? I don't know of all neighborhoods, but a lot of neighborhoods, they have Buy Nothing groups set up. You can join them via Facebook groups, but also Buy Nothing has its own app. So a little plug for Buy Nothing. I'm in my local one, and there's a homie that lives, I don't know, about 5 blocks away or something. And he was getting rid of his HTC Vive. I want to say it's from 2018-ish, maybe. Okay. It's an early version.
Ancient technology. Continue.
I mean, it's older, but it's dope. But it is, it's like VR has come a long way, dude. I've tried VR a couple times, just for a couple different minutes or whatever. It's always impressive, but it's like, it's a bit of a commitment when you're like going to go out and buy a rig.
Even the cheap and options are like $300.
Even the cheap ones, yeah. Super dope though, dude. So Buy Nothing, basically he was like, hey, like I don't really set this up anymore. Like if anybody wants it, I'm giving it away. I was like, dude, that'd be dope. I'm about it. So I got lucky. Me and a few other folks expressed interest, and I ended up being the one that he randomly chose to receive the HTC Vive, and I've been virtual reality in, dude. Mm-hmm. Been in that virtual reality. Plug me in. Pretty cool. I didn't have a bunch of VR games, for sure. But there's some fun ones, dude. Like, so VR Regatta is a sailing game. Regatta, maybe. So anyways, Regatta. It's like you're in a sailboat, dude. And that's like kind of the vibe. You can do like sailboat racing. You can just kind of sail around. But it's one of those crazy things where, it's just weird. I'm sitting in my office, but I'll put this thing on. You look around and you're like, shit, no, I'm like on the ocean.
Do you get nauseous?
I do.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of that. I can't do it that's partly from everything I've read, is that it's pretty normal to experience some nausea from a lot of VR games, and you kind of have to build up a tolerance to it, which I don't have a lot of interest in doing. Right. For instance, the PS5 has, I don't remember what version it is, but they've got, PS5 put out its more recent VR set. And one of the homies, Tyler, he's got a whole racing rig, and he does the VR thing with Gran Turismo, dude. And it's dope. Like, it has eye tracking where you don't even have to turn your head. You just move your eye, and you can see that movement or whatever, but you're also in a race car, and things are moving, and I played for probably 5-10 minutes, and I was ready to throw up.
Yeah, I would barf for sure, dude.
For sure. And but he was saying yeah, totally, that's the thing. You just kind of get used to it. You build a tolerance over time, which is yeah, I guess.
VR
but
version, dude.
Dude, for sure. But
don't
for
puke
me,
like a little bitch, dude. VR, get good.
Dude, I get nausea playing first-person shooters on my desktops.
Yeah.
So VR kind of intense. So I do it for little spurts, and most of the games out there and the games that I have for VR, it kind of works that way. I wouldn't want to do long periods in them anyways. But the ones the Regatta thing is really tight. There's a VR version, it comes with it, but for Star Wars Squadrons, and that's really cool. Mm-hmm. So to be able to fly around in the Star Wars universe, so in a cockpit of a TIE fighter or X-Wing. Because that one, the VR isn't super intense. You're more or less like you would be when you're flying. You're looking forward out your cockpit, but when you look around and stuff, you see the dashboard and you see inside the ship. Yeah. So most of the time, you're not looking around too crazily. So that one's pretty darn cool. I did end up picking up Half-Life Alyx, because that one's supposed to be really dope. So I haven't checked that one out yet, though. So I'm excited to check that one out. And then Colossal Cave VR is another one that I'm excited about. Shout out to Game Informer, but they had an article about the developer that made King's Quest, which you probably don't remember.
The name's familiar.
King's Quest. Yeah, so King's Quest 5 in particular is one that I used to dick around with when we were kids that I was never very good at, but it's a really great article at the end of the last month's issue. But Colossal Cave, she is the developer behind it, and it's supposed to be quite good for VR, and so I'm really excited to try that out. But for most of my VR time, and I also got Super Hot, which you maybe seen Super Hot around there. It's kind of like a weird shooter thing. It's fun to be in that area, but my office is not that big, and when you got that headset on, it's so funny, dude. Because Super Hot in particular, it's a shooter, but you can also you can hit enemies and stuff like that. So I'm turning around, and I go to slap an enemy. And I knocked all my baseball cards off my shelf.
Smacking into amiibos.
Dude, for sure. This is kind of clowning.
That is funny.
Oh, man. So I've been playing around with that, dude.
Have you hooked it up to your racing wheel, you fucking sweat?
Not to my racing wheel yet. So like, unfortunately, there's not a ton, and like, I don't, I'm not trying to go out and buy every game there is, but there's not a ton of games that have that capability on Steam right now. But I did end up getting there is a racing game that I did get, and I have tried it, but I haven't tried it with the rig yet. And that was like the whole reason I bought it. But that's like, that's not only you got to set up the VR, you got to set
half
up
an hour setting shit up to play 10 minutes of VR, dude. That's tough.
There's some steps,
but it'd be cool.
There's some steps. It is cool. It is. So that's been super fun, dude. Major little side quests there. Outside of that, haven't been doing too many video games, man. Life's been kind of crazy. Obviously a little bit of Call of the Lamb. I did start playing Hollow Knight, and I'm not super far in it, but I've been enjoying it, dude. That is a game, everybody, you include you and everybody else are like, dude, this is like, you're going to love this game. And sure enough, it's a Metroidvania that is very nice.
Don't be afraid to look some stuff up in the beginning, because they don't hold your hand in what's going on.
Right.
So feel free.
Right.
I mean, I didn't do that.
That's been cool.
But you might need to, is all I'm saying.
I gotta drop Mario Strikers in the mix as a little side quest.
All right.
We had my son's birthday recently, and we had some of the cousins over, some of my nephews and niece on my wife's side stayed the night a couple nights. And one of my nephews, he's super into soccer right now. Dude, clowning. He's also like 11 years old, 10 years old, something like that. So, like, in very preteen nature, the dude I know loves to play video games. Like, Uncle Alex, he got the video games, right? So it's one of those deals. Like, I know how it is, man. Like, I remember, like,
every time we found
Auntie
out.
Sue, Uncle Greg's, like, just being stoked. Like, I was stoked to go over there because I'd be trying to play the video games they got. So I know how he be feeling. But he being a little coy about it because he comes over and I'm like, yo, dog, you want to like try some Mario Strikers? He goes, that sounds stupid. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You ain't trying. Because after he's like gassing up soccer and how much all this other, and I was like, all right, then you ain't got to play.
What are you playing? Did you get it for the Switch?
Yeah. Strikers? Mario? It's only on the Switch.
I don't remember you buying that.
I bought it a while ago. It's been sitting on my shelf.
The new one?
So yeah, dude. The newest one, yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know you had that. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I got it on sale a while back, and I didn't play it too much, but it was really fun though because eventually it was like, so can I try that Strikers out, Mario Strikers?
Can I play that stupid game you told me about earlier?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's for sure. I was like, oh yeah, you trying to play that now, aren't you? So we played that. He's fucking loved it, dude. He got super into it. Like I whooped him up a couple of times. He started getting a little better. He still couldn't take me down because I got big video game knowledge, but
nothing.
Dude, that was a lot of fun.
Dude. Hell yeah.
And shout out to Nintendo for like making games that are, one part complex, but also like approachable enough for a kid that doesn't play too many video games to start to figure out.
That's the reason there's the cult of the Nintendo, Alex.
But that was a lot of fun, dude. So that was another major side quest. Other than that, just been reading books, but no need to go into those because they're nonfiction marketing books, and ain't nobody got time for that except me, apparently.
Steamy romance novels.
Yes.
Dad porn, they call it.
So those would be the major side quests, bro. Fun to play Call of the Lamb. Fun side quests. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Holler at all the folks that reached out, being like, "Where y'all at?" Appreciate you. We here. We just been doing stuff. Excited to get this one out. We got more coming.
We're trying to hit you with a bonus to catch up. So
it's coming. It be coming.
Stops big timing with his cool plans.
Get out of here.
Person
you just as busy, bro. You just as busy.
Nope. Not when I'm talking shit, I'm not.
Right on, brother, man. Much love. Thanks all for listening. Giving us 5 stars on your platform of choice. We ain't got time for that 1-star bullshit. If you listen this long, why are you giving us 1 star? Give us 5 stars. I need it for my ego.
Hate listened, would not do again.
Also, jump if you're not in that Discord, jump in the Discord so I got people to talk to about video games. I know we got social media and stuff, but here's the deal. Sometimes I like to take breaks. I get hot and cold on social media, but I always got my Discord open. And there's a link. There's an invite link in the show notes. You can get that at low5gaming.com. Much love, y'all. Peace.
Peace.